My ex-mill sent church women to harass my daughters, so I exposed her dirty secrets to her church. Now she's shunned an ashemedium, a 46-year-old woman, and this all started with the sudden death of my cheating ex-husband last year. He left behind not just heartache and chaos, but 2 sons born from his affair. His mistress also passed away, leaving those poor boys orphaned. I wish I could say that's where the drama ended, but it was only the beginning. His parents, my ex-in-laws, aged 78 and 80, have been hell-bent on controlling what remains of their son's legacy. First, they tried to gain custody of our daughters, now 17 and 15, and when that failed, they tried to move in with us. That second part? Absolutely not happening. The custody situation? Currently in court. These people were already toxic. But after their golden boy passed away, they dialed it up. They felt entitled to everything: my daughters, our home, my time, and yes, even my sympathy. They got none of it. Last weekend, things crossed a line I'll never forgive. Where we live, we have a lovely weekend farmers market with fresh produce, meat, eggs, and lots of handmade treats. It also happened to be my youngest daughter's birthday. Her party is later this month, so I gave her a budget and set her loose at the market to buy whatever sweets and goodies she wanted. She was having a blast until she wasn't. About an hour in, I got a call from her. She was crying. Some strange older women had cornered her. My heart dropped. I grabbed my oldest daughter and ran through the crowd. When we finally found her, I saw 6 elderly women surrounding her, all shouting her down. They were berating her for being unchristian, accusing her of neglecting her paternal grandparents and abandoning her poor orphan baby brothers. These women didn't care that my daughters were the ones who discovered their father's infidelity or that they were still in therapy over it. These church harpies had one mission: shame us into submission. I shoved my way between them and my daughter. I told my eldest to take her sister and all her purchases and get to the car. Then I turned to the crowd of self-righteous crows and gave them a verbal lashing I'd been holding in for years. Some of these women I recognized from the church we used to attend with my ex-in-laws. They scolded me, claiming I was refusing to obey my former in-laws like a good Christian wife. I nearly gagged. Things escalated. Voices were raised, and eventually, we were all asked to leave the market. As I walked to my car, those women followed me, squawking behind like a flock of judgmental pigeons. That night, after my daughters went to bed, I was seething. I reached out to a church member I still keep in touch with, a kind man who's always been level-headed despite the church's intense culture. When I told him what happened, he apologized profusely. Then he told me the real reason for the ambush. Apparently, my ex-mill had posted an emotional sob story in the church's Facebook group. She claimed that my daughters and I had abandoned her and her husband, left them homeless and penniless despite them inheriting my ex's life insurance and personal bank account, and even accused us of making her lose her grandsons. What really burned me was her lie about the affair. Since the church condemns cheating, she rewrote history saying the other woman was our surrogate and that I refused to raise the boys because they were boys. Disgusting. That woman rewrote her dead son's betrayal into a twisted martyr tale. She got sympathy all right, but not for long. What she didn't know is that during our divorce, which was nearly finalized when my ex died, I had everything documented. All the receipts, screenshots of texts, emails, photos, everything. And since the divorce hadn't been finalized, I faced no legal consequences for sharing it. So I spent the next day crafting justice. I went to a print shop and spent extra money getting high-quality prints of my ex and his mistress kissing in our living room, text messages between them, explicit, undeniable messages from his parents supporting the affair, harassing texts from them to me about the divorce, and worst of all, screenshots of them bullying my daughters after their father died. In one, they even called my girls bastards and blamed them for his death because they had told me about the affair. It was vile. I compiled everything into neatly organized binders. But not just any binders, I made them look like church songbook packets, the kind handed out during services. The first page was a full-color picture of my ex and his mistress, faces fully visible, making out on our couch. Beneath it, in big bold letters, ex-husband's name and mistress' name. A holy love story. I dropped the binders at the church's back desk, where they keep spare hymn books. The fallout? Delicious. Within hours, the church Facebook group exploded. The gossip mill went into overdrive. Members were shocked, furious. My ex-in-laws were exposed as enablers and liars. Some of the language used to describe my ex and his affair partner was so harsh that even the pastor had to step in to moderate the discussion and keep it from devolving further. But here's the cherry on top. The church still saw me as the sinner, but now a sympathetic one. I was led astray by heartbreak, someone who might return to the light one day. One woman wrote, "She may have failed in her wifely duties, but at least she's not the Jezebel he betrayed her with." I won't repeat the actual word they used. Let's just say it wasn't church-friendly. We even got 2 apology letters mailed to our house, one for each of my daughters, and an invitation for us to return to the fold for healing and sisterhood. That made me laugh for a solid 10 minutes, and my ex-in-laws shunned. They were humiliated. My ex-mill made a pitiful post on her personal Facebook page about how no one cares for the elderly anymore, how she feels alienated, and how much she wishes her great son were still alive to care for her. With what? My money? Let's be real, I was the breadwinner. I raised my daughters. I paid the bills. I carried the emotional load. And I survived the betrayal of the man I once loved. Now, with his parents out of my hair, the truth exposed, and my daughters protected, all I feel is peace. Oh, and in case you're wondering about the will, my ex told me he had named our daughters as the beneficiaries, but that was a lie. His parents were named instead. I never fought for it to go to me, because my own will already ensures that everything I have goes to my daughters. That's how it should be. Now, we move forward, with no lies left to uncover and no vultures left circling.